Welcome to episode 13 of The Power Effects. My name is Sean Quinn, and I'm with Tech Train Solutions. We're starting a new series about talking about conspiracies. I'm here with Jake Price, the number one co-host and the man. Hello, Jake. How are you doing today, buddy?
Good, Sean. How you doing, dude?
I'm doing great. Love messing up, but let's get this through. So the new series I want to start with, and me and you discussed this, is we're going to conspiracies, dig deep into that. All right. For today, though, we're going to talk about the different episodes we're going to move forward with today. So the one thing I like to talk about is aliens. I think there's aliens all over us. We just don't know about it. They just have higher technology than we do. I believe they're out there. There's no way they can't be. That's one of the things I want to dig deep into. What do you think, Jake, with that?
Sure, dude. I love aliens. Personally, I think I like to believe that they're interstellar, but I also like to think that they're interdimensional instead. So they're traveling at the same time as us and just cross paths intermittently.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like simulation theory. That's another one that you can tie into aliens too.
Mm-hmm.
I like Bigfoot. Bigfoot. Everyone knows Bigfoot. Everyone wants
Oh,
to know
yeah.
about Bigfoot.
Yep.
I like Skinwalker Ranch. That's another cool one. Although there's not any credible evidence that there's
I have
anything
no
actually
idea
going
what that
on.
is. That'd be great.
That's a
I'll do
super
some.
cool one.
Okay.
They have aliens there. They have Skinwalkers there, like Navajo tribe type stuff and old
Mm-hmm.
Native American lore.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, there's so many. There's Skinwalkers. There's Appalachia. There's aliens. There's Bigfoot. There's so many things. Like you're finally into my world,
Mm-hmm.
the deep open rabbit hole.
Well, the one I saw on Netflix was really interesting to me, and it kind of makes sense. His little conspiracy, which if you listen to him, sounds like very factual, is that we have a short history, currently with
Sure.
us, right? I mean, they're saying there's no way that, like you said just a minute ago, but that was when we messed up. Is I think you said, what was your phrase when you were talking
The
about
world's the
yeah,
world's 4.5 billion years old. Civilization's only been around for they assume the earliest I think they found evidence of was like 100,000 years ago. So it's
yeah.
hard for me to believe that we made 4.49 billion years of nothing and then we popped out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. I can see that. I don't see how that's possible. Like you said, I mean, whew, there's got to be you listen to him, right? All those pyramids. He's saying the pyramids a lot older than we think.
Yeah,
And then you have those structures up in, I'm trying to remember, the old
Machu Picchu.
yeah, where it's one of the oldest structures they found.
You're talking
More than,
about ancient aliens with Graham Hancock
yeah,
or ancient apocalypse.
yeah.
I
Love it.
love that guy.
Oh, I love it. He makes so
He's
much
he's banned
sense.
he's banned from a state park in Ohio.
Yeah, I remember that because he's
It's
saying
like,
those mounds were part of the old civilization, which makes sense because if you
yeah,
look at the map, right? He mapped it
yeah.
out. It kind of lines up to it's got to be man-made.
We
It has
figured
to
too, like
be.
back then too, like they didn't have microphones and megaphones that we know of or have proof of.
Mm-hmm.
So they would centralize the acoustics into a central point or a focal point.
Right.
So you could spread out in a crowd. And it's like everything that he's explained, it's like it does make a sense as a theory. So I love watching the
Yeah.
show. It makes you think outside of the box.
Yeah. Yeah. Unless someone comes up with a different theory, which, no offense, it doesn't hold enough weight with some stuff they're saying. How
What's
can that
a lot
be?
of
How can that structure be not man-made? I
the
never
issue I have
seen
with
stuff like that.
the issue I have with it also, like with his talking points, is he gets shut down. They try to cancel him and
Yeah.
destroy his career and all these things. And the the under not the understanding, the forefront of science is trying to disprove itself. You come up with a theory and a hypothesis, and you try to
Yeah.
disprove that hypothesis.
Right.
Or if you came up with facts, then you try to disprove those facts. He's coming up with an alternative source of information or a different way to look at it and they're trying to ruin his career. It's like, well, why? It's like this is the basis of science, is trying to come up with new theories and prove them wrong. Instead, they're
Yeah.
just canceling him and just trying to belittle and put him as this conspiracy theorist and this what the other terms were, like some kind of fake scientist. There's a term for it though, a
Right. Pseudo.
pseudoscientist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And all he is, and he's first thing he says is he's a journalist. He's a reporter. He comes up with new theories.
Yeah.
Theories. He's not telling you that this is what it is and this is how it was. He's not. He's very vocal with just being he's being a reporter and a journalist, not a scientist.
Yeah.
But everyone just shuts him down. It's like they don't want to even explore his ideas.
I think it's great. I listened to it. It makes sense in my eyes because with all those different structures you have, along with their, the thing of Atlantis, right? I mean, that's
Sure.
so engraved in our past. That is so much like lore. We come to find out sometimes that lore is because something happened. The
Sure.
lore. It's passed down in generation. So to say that they're advanced or all this, I don't think that lore was fake. I think it was real facts. May not have been exactly like all they're saying, but it makes a whole bunch of sense. And
Yeah.
from that to nothing, with his argument of a great apocalypse, and knowing, by history, if you look at the history and they're talking about the different things that happened, they had something happen in that time frame in which he believes that mass extinction happened. All right.
Sure.
What did he think? Was it
The Great Flood.
Great flood, but it was caused by something. I think it was caused by earthquakes or volcano, something like that. I think it was volcano that caused that because of tsunami, right? It was so huge.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and it just flooded everything out, and nations were lost and stuff like that. It makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense. That's
Well, yeah,
one.
you figure too. Well, you
I
look at
wanna-
the Grand Canyon. To your point, look at the Grand Canyon. That's all water erosion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's all. Like, it didn't form from a tiny little stream that quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. So that's one thing I like to dive deep, which we just talked about a little bit today. I like to dive deep and support his thought processes because I
Yeah.
kind of agree. With that, not because of I don't want it to be real. It just I believe, like you said, science, right? You want to try to prove something wrong, and
Yeah.
it makes a lot of sense, and no one can come up a way to dismiss him. That's logical, right? Because I believe you
Yeah.
got to
True.
think logically, not by your heart. So that makes a lot of sense. But in other conspiracies I would like to dive into is maybe local conspiracies. Like I'll look for it online because I know in my old neighborhood we had a local conspiracy or a local lore in our neighborhood in North Philadelphia. It was a big road. I think it was Bustleton. And it has a big, huge overpass that looks over this major road. Even at daytime, it's dark as heck down there. And we used to believe from the lore since like 1820s or whatever, there was a family there that kept inbreeding. And so we all were afraid to go down there because the thing was they would grab you and use you and are cannibals. So we used to stay away from that area. Now, I don't know if it's true, but believe me, we were all puckering. We never went near there. So that was the lore for us in North Philadelphia. So I like to explore more local lores as another episode. To me, that sounds like it would be a lot of fun exploring that. Fun, not serious. Fun. What other conspiracies or lores do you want to dig into? So we just talked about the floods, talked about local lores. What do you want into?
Another cool one would be stories like the Dog Man.
Okay.
How they could be black magic or this this mystical creature. A lot of stories come from the Appalachians, which come through Pennsylvania, down through all sorts of states, but a lot of cool, crazy, creepy stories that come from that. How like dog man wouldn't harm a child and will befriend a child, but to an adult, it's extremely violent. There's a lot of cool stories, like podcasts that I've listened to. This guy Tony Mercado, he's actually from Philadelphia, Langhorne area.
Okay.
He talks about it. And he's like had like people on that he's interviewed and like firsthand stories. And one of the people brought them back to their experience where one of his dogs got, again, stories. He got one of his hunting dogs got killed by the dog man. The other one helped save his life. So it's just a really cool story. A lot of, I mean, listening to a podcast, I'm on the edge of my seat, like, man, what happened next? Like,
All
and
right. Right.
there's
Right.
no visual. It's just I'm just watching two guys talk. I'm like, what is going?
Right.
It's like I'm getting sucked into this. I'm like, geez, dude. There's a lot of cool
Yeah.
stories with that. Like witches of the Appalachia, stuff like
Okay.
that. Um, Bigfoot. That's I believe, an international. It's a widely spread topic. Another cool
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
because of our area would be like the Jersey Devil, which I
Right.
believe just was derivative of was it a mayor or some prominent figure of the area,
Mm-hmm.
and he had like a few kids and his wife. They had this younger child that was sickly, and they like to defame him, like they kind of called his child the Jersey Devil. So there's like a lot of weird lore around it, but that
Okay.
story's used to scare people. It became this monster.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of cool stories out there. There's a lot of like I listen to like the Y Files with AJ Gentile.
Okay.
He's a really good guy because he's a great storyteller,
Right.
puts all the information out there, but then he goes back and fact checks and he puts facts with the story instead of feelings and opinions. He's like, well, this is what we could prove. This is what it was. This is the time era that happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then like leaves it up to the viewer. But there's a lot of cool guys like that. There's another page, Sunday Cool. It's just a couple of friends just talking randomly, and they just come up with different topics, and they go a lot down these rabbit holes. Blurry
Right.
creatures. There's a lot of good coverage out there, but they're I listen to them all the time, but they're very religious people also. I like to keep it fun
Right.
and
Right.
mysterious.
Yeah.
I don't need an understanding of life. I just want to have fun and have a good time.
Right.
So
Right. Yep. Just have some fun conspiracies. Keep religion and politics out of it. Just
yeah,
make it.
right,
Just
exactly.
have fun with it. Because I like
Yep.
to dig into that also. Some fun stuff. With they're saying that the Mediterranean was once all dry at one time,
Yep.
right? And they're saying that the Strait of the Malta just cracked open. Next thing you know, the whole thing filled up. That there's a lost
Mhm.
civilization there too that no one knows
I
about.
could I could
Uh,
see it.
yeah, yeah, they're saying that happened. They believe that was one of the stories that guy said, and I'm like, that makes sense. And then you have the Japanese, right off the coast, these man-made structures. They think man-made in the sea. Uh, all these big, huge stone cut
Hmm.
perfectly, like steps. They have no idea what that is. That's what other thing I like to dive into is like weird stuff like that where
Oh
we
yeah.
we don't know what it is, but I like to speculate, right? I mean, we can.
Yeah, sure.
No one else knows, so why not?
Well,
With
it's
that,
like Antarctica used to be this lush green land. Same thing with the Sahara Desert. There used to be lush green
yeah,
lands.
mm-hmm,
Like Antarctica, I think it's Antarctica. They have
yeah,
found evidence of or found artifacts and remains of the woolly mammoth. And there's some
oh,
sort of flash freeze where they're still digesting food. Like
mm,
they froze so quickly they didn't even digest the food that they did have. Like there wasn't a starvation. It was like a instantaneous freeze where they just froze and their body was still functioning when they froze.
wow. Well, it's
Some
cold as heck
crazy
down there,
stuff.
so I
Yeah.
can see that. And
Well,
I'm sure
a woolly mammoth is created for like they're not created for it. It
it's meant for
progressing.
that element.
Yeah,
It's meant for
evolved
the
to
cold.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But whatever
Same
this
thing with like
was
people with
too
Siberian
fast.
huskies.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, too fast. Where it froze it while it was still eating, and there's still food in the stomach.
yeah,
There's like cool stuff like that that's not really talked about or documented because no one really knows. Like those rabbit holes are the fun rabbit holes.
yeah. That's the stuff I want to do. Stuff like that, fun ones. You know,
Yeah.
because they're also saying there's still lost civilizations out there that we don't know about,
Oh, for sure.
just hidden deep in forests and rainforests, and we can't just see them.
Oh, yeah. The one
That's
thing,
neat to hear.
the one thing that we'll have to watch with like the alien rabbit holes, it's very, I'm sure like the more you research it or dig into it, you'll see it's very convoluted with um, politics, not just American
Uh,
politics and government
right.
internationally. It kind of plays into like then they like the government like, oh yeah, well that did happen. Like, oh, we don't have any evidence of any UFO sightings.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, oh, actually, we have 70,000 files of UFO sites. So they play these weird games with,
Mm-hmm.
and
The
I don't
public.
know what it. Yeah, so I don't
Yeah.
know what it is, or if it's just a power play, which makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so
Yeah.
that's like the one thing we'll have to watch out for is like there is certain times where that really ties in together. I don't know if you saw like the aired broadcast of the was it David Koresh or like Commander David Fravor. They had televised in front of Congress confessions like the view of these UFO sightings, and these biologicals that they found. So
Right.
it will tie into American politics, just like more of a briefing to Congress than it would be like a Democratic Republican thing.
All right. We'll
So
just stay away
yeah,
from
so we'll just
that.
have to stay away from certain things. Yeah. So
Yeah. 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 No, I agree with that. Like right now, I'm just trying to find some fun conspiracies while we're talking.
oh,
And
dude, there's tons.
the one I found was all political driven. Like, nah, I'm gonna change on that one. Let's get away from
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I love the ones that's Hillary Clinton's a reptile.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, okay,
yeah.
dude. All right. All right.
Uh huh.
So, but there's other ones that I do find fascinating that I guess you could technically tie to politics would be like the moon landing, where there's so
Okay.
much skepticism against the moon landing. It's like, man,
Mm-hmm.
it gets me thinking like, man, now I'm questioning if I think it's real or not, because it's like we were in a space race with Russia in the early 60s, and then we were losing, and then we beat them to the moon in 1969 or whatever. And then you figure 56 years later, we no longer have the technology to get to the moon. Like we are far more advanced
Yeah.
than the 60s ever were or could ever dream of. And we don't have the technology, and we don't know what technology we used to have. Like, how's that possible?
Yeah. It's
Unless another conspiracy, not conspiracy, I guess conspiracy, like say tie in with the star people from the Egyptians, and every culture had a star person.
right.
Is the a technology that was given and then taken away, like
Mm-hmm.
that type scenario where the pyramids, they're all over the world in these remote locations that have stones and artifacts from faraway lands that would take years to get to their location,
Mm-hmm.
and thousands of people to move those to that location.
Right.
So it's like the theory of like the aliens came down and helped and then took that technology away, or there was some sort of abuse of power, and the aliens stripped the power away and left. So there's a lot of
Yeah.
theories like that, like the Anunnaki, like the creators of humankind, stuff like that. There's some really
Yeah.
cool ones.
Well, that's one of my favorite movie and TV show, The Stargate. It was kind of like that premise where we weren't originally here. We were you know we became here from other parts.
Yeah.
It's called Stargate. Very very awesome. It's about like wormholes connecting all these worlds and a civilization that's over 1 billion years old. It's we were just descendants of them. That's a fun movie and
Well,
a TV show.
they do say that we're all just interstellar stardust, and when we die,
Yeah,
we return to the stars. So
yeah,
it's a
yeah.
cool theory too.
The microorganism theory, right? Where
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, okay. Which, like I think you said earlier, it's kind of hard to hear, like when you're like here and you start coming up, and
Hmm.
but there is scientific, like
You brought
proof
up
that's
earlier.
possible.
What's that little
What's
microorganism bear that you were talking about earlier? Like that.
oh the tardigan?
Yeah, that thing can exist anywhere.
Yeah, tar-
Like, and you like you have skeptics that tell you that you like nothing comes from space. There's no aliens. Like that thing can live in space.
Yeah, here's a picture of
Like
it.
how can you say yeah? How can you say that
Yeah,
it's not like space is like
it's called also a water bear or moss piglets, but that can live like literally in vacuum space. All it does is it goes to sleep until it gets to a spot where it can come back alive, or not
it's
alive.
like
It's probably
and you got people that say that aliens can't be real. It's like dude, that thing can live anywhere, literally anywhere.
yeah, yeah,
Or like
and
if you listen to Bob Lazar, he was big in the '80s, infamous in the '80s, famous now for working allegedly working in Area 51 at
mhm,
Building S4,
right,
re back engine reverse engineering uh,
alien
recovered
tech.
spacecraft.
Okay,
Yeah, with anti-gravitic capabilities, and he was a part of a team that were trying to reverse engineer to understand how to create it. He started
mm,
talking of this uh, new element in I think 1988
mm,
or somewhere back in that generation, and that element wasn't actually discovered by mankind until 2008, and it was
oh,
created by I think Russians just to see if they could create it, and it lasted for a fraction of a second. But he was talking about it 30 years before it was ever on the periodic table,
mm,
and like the government ruined his life. They raided his house, they tapped his phones, they erased his work history, all because he he thought I think what was it? He believed his wife was having no. There's some weird scenario.
yeah,
So he started taking his friends to the desert to watch these UFOs do test flights.
okay,
Meanwhile, his wife was having an affair and he didn't know about it. And then so he dropped this big story because he thought there was some sort of government interference. And then they started tapping his phones. They raided his house. His wife left
mm-hmm,
him, and then he started a business. And he said that he had this said element that he talked about,
mm-hmm,
and then they raided his business and they destroyed his life. This is almost 40 years later. They still have FBI surveillance on Bob Lazar. And
wow,
his story's never changed. His story, the details have never changed in his story. He's had no financial gain or monetary value
right,
from that story releasing. There's another guy, George Knapp. He was the original reporter on that case. He did
mm-hmm,
a lot of cool stuff. He did Skinwalker Ranch. He did Bob Lazar and Aliens with this guy Jeremy Corbell. But he was kind of like the breakout, almost like the godfather of the stories, like with like Coast to Coast AM. I don't know if you remember
mm,
that. Coast to Coast
no,
AM was talking about aliens and like it was like reporting, but then they would throw the aliens and stuff in there too. So they were always looked down upon for not following the outline that they wanted.
all right, I see it. Yeah, I'm pulled up coast to coast right now, looking at it. All right, there it goes, coast to coast. What he's talking about, coast to coast, the best paranormal normal show apparently.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
the
Loch
other tough
Ness, I
part,
see that Loch Ness.
yeah, the Loch Ness was a good, that was a funny little one to watch.
Yeah,
But the other thing that's tough with conspiracy theories, it's like the term conspiracy theory was derivative from the CIA.
okay,
So when like you had these strange people come up with these outlandish stories, they would be labeled conspiracy theories to kind of like defame them and make them look like a crazy person, and like so people wouldn't believe the stories. Like, oh well, this guy's just making stuff up. So the
yeah.
CIA actually they actually created that term conspiracy theorist.
Just so
But
you
then
think
you
he's
but
crazy,
yeah, but then
or
you
he
look
or
back
she.
on like
All
some
right.
of these conspiracies that were later agreed upon and the CIA admitted to in their documents on their website of things that they were doing that they were
Right.
calling people conspiracy theorists about. Then like it actually broke. It was a breakout story. That's like, oh yeah, actually we did do that. We did test people. We did test LSD on people. We did try to do mind control. Like there's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff like they were calling people crazy for. I was like,
Right.
oh, well, actually, we did do that. It's like, so
Oh,
like they deemed the term conspiracy theory, so it's like a taboo thing, but they created that to divert attention away. And don't get me wrong, there is crazy freaking people out there that
oh,
make shit up,
definitely. Yeah.
but that's kind of like the problem with it. It's like there is some truth to those stories, and like then you just
Yeah.
get pushed down for it. But
You don't know what to believe.
yeah, so Alien's
Yeah.
a good one. Everyone
Mm,
can have a story about aliens, love it
yeah.
or hate it. I mean, I watched the Jetsons growing up.
Oh,
We
yeah.
didn't watch that with the little Martian.
Hmm.
A lot of cool stuff out there.
Yeah, no, it's just I see a lot of good conspiracies. Like we just saw Loch Ness, right?
Mhm.
That's
Yeah,
something right there. That thing is apparently where that's at. It's pretty deep there, also.
yeah.
That
There's
lake,
there's cool
it's
ones
huge.
like the obviously Bigfoot, but there's Skinwalkers. Like that's kind of a creepy one, dude. Like there's a lot of creepy stuff too.
Yeah, it makes me a little creepy. Because one of the other shows I watch is Supernatural. That has a lot of the
Love that. Watched
folklore
it. I watched
creatures in
every
there.
episode of watched every episode of every season of that show
Yeah, me too. One
twice,
of
two times.
just once,
23
but
seasons.
mm,
23 seasons. I watched every single episode. I
yeah.
was so sad at the end.
Oh,
So I
but
started
they
over
kind of
from the
ended.
beginning.
They kind of ended all right. I mean, the two brothers back
Eh,
again, Winchesters.
Yeah, in
Yeah,
heaven.
yeah. But that's 15 seasons. It could have been more, but I think they were done. I
Was it?
think they
It
were
was only
going.
15. Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you figure 15 years,
Hmm.
23, 22 or 23 episodes per season for 15 years.
Yeah,
It's like they're adults now with families, and it's like once you do that for so long, you're kind of typecast into that character. So
yeah.
you're either
Like,
all in or you got to start branching out.
yep. Like
Where like
he's playing
Jensen Ackles,
Soldier Boy now.
yeah.
That's
So
a
Dean Winchester, Jensen
mm,
Ackles in real life, he's typecast as the same person every time. It was like
yeah.
my bloody Valentine when he was killing people on that. Then he went right to Supernatural when he was like 25. Now
Hmm.
he's in his 40s, but he plays essentially the same badass character with the deep voice and ass hat and stuff like that.
I was hoping he
So
would be the
yeah,
new Batman, like they were saying. I was hoping for that because that was the rumor he was going to be the new Batman. I
it'll be
think it'd be
cool. I'd
awesome,
watch
man.
it.
I think it'd be awesome. Yeah, he's one of my favorite characters. To be honest with you.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, but then like I like Jared Padalecki as Sam
yeah,
Winchester also because
yeah.
I don't know if you remember that he was in
Gilmore Girls, right?
yeah Gilmore Girls. My wife watches it every night.
Mm.
So we get in arguments because his name in that show is Dean. I know him as Sam,
Right.
and then their dad in Supernatural is in uh,
Walking Dead,
Grey's Anatomy.
Grey's Anatomy, right?
So I was like, frick, man. So I'm getting arguments with my wife, like, no, that is
Mm.
the Winchester. That's Sam and Dad's dad. Sam and
Yeah.
Dean's dad. And like,
All right.
no, it's so and so. So stupid little petty arguments over it.
But in that one, they show all the creatures that we might be talking about in their
Yeah.
episodes, right?
Yeah,
All the
vampires, werewolves, Osiris,
folklore.
Jinn.
Yeah, yeah, talking about all of them, including the mythical gods. Apparently
Yeah.
they weren't that strong. That was just
Yeah. Killed by two humans.
yeah, right, right. So that's all the stuff I think we should dive into. We're at 28 minutes. I'm excited. I think the next episode, let's dive into Martians and UFOs and see what we can get. Sound good to you?
There's a lot of cool stories out there. A lot of seemingly credible encounters and experiences. There's a really good one. I think everyone that talks about it has covered it. Of the school down in Zimbabwe, where they saw a UFO in the woods. A
Right.
whole bunch of students from a class, like I think like 30 kids, could describe and draw pictures of this UFO that they had seen.
Wow.
There's a lot of stipulation that the teacher was telling them what they saw. So there's a lot of outside intervention, they believe. So there's some really cool stories out there. There's a lady in New York that got abducted out of her apartment and into the
Mm,
sky, and two police officers saw it. So there's a
right.
lot of cool stories out there, a lot of bogus stories. And you
Even
got,
a bogus be
I
fun to
think,
hear though.
I think probably the biggest one that everyone knows, or every person that ever Googled aliens, would be Roswell,
That's the big one
which
right there.
yeah, which that town kind of played on too. Like, I don't know if you ever like I've looked at houses out that way in New Mexico,
No,
and
I didn't.
they totally play on it. But apparently, a lot of those people out there are super weird too. So if it lands,
You might as well take advantage of it, right? If
yeah,
they're
right. Why
giving to
not,
you.
dude? Yeah, yeah. But if apparently Utah has a lot of sightings, Nevada has a lot of sightings, Arizona, New Mexico, like these very desolate lands with a lot of open space. There's a
Right.
lot of stipulation that there's a heavy UFO uh, presence after World War II over Japan. A lot of
Yeah, I
like
heard
guess
about that
second
too.
second generation now, but like with Hiroshima and Nagasaki, like the relatives of people that are alive today, they were talking about all this UFO presence around after the nuclear bombs were dropped, and even today there's still areas that have too much radiation to be in.
Right.
Apparently there's still a lot of UFO presence and surveillance up that way from what the people had talked about. There's a couple cool shows out there that talk about that also, like first person, like they're going in and into these highly polluted areas with guides, and they talk about
Mm,
it. Like you
man.
can only have so much exposure. You're not allowed to film. You're not allowed to do A, B, and C. You got to burn your clothes. You got to shower 7 times. There's so many different things, but the alien presence or UFO, I can't say alien, UFO, part of simulation theory is tied in with UFOs because they think it's more of like a, I don't know how often, if you do, or if have you ever played video games? Like one of the concepts is like, imagine like, because people talk about how UFOs like kind of bounce all over, like there's no gravitational effect and like they don't have an atmospheric with holding. They can kind of do whatever they want to do and bounce all over the sky,
Mm,
accelerate instantaneously. But one of the theories is that if this was a simulation that we're living in,
hmm.
if you ever played Grand Theft Auto or Call of Duty,
Right.
and you can only see to the horizon, and as you get closer, more things populate.
Right.
It'd be the same thing. The UFO would be in the background; and it could just populate wherever it wants to. So
Oh, I
it's,
see.
it's it gets so crazy. Sometimes it's a lot of work being a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, sounds like to me.
It's a
I
lot.
just like listening and talking about it. That's
Yeah,
all I
but
like
there's a
doing.
lot of cool guys that kind of they have people on and interview them, whether it's again Tony Mercado with the confessionals, Ninjas or Butterflies with Sunday Cool,
Mm,
AJ Gentile with the Y Files is probably the most logical because he tells you the whole story and really grabs you like, dude, I can't believe this is real. And then he starts telling you the facts like, oh, thank God.
mm.
But he's really good. I think we can do some good work here.
That'd be great. I think again our next episode we'll dig deep into the aliens, get right into it.
Yeah,
When you're
heck yeah.
available, because we got the holiday season coming. So when you're available, you're busy with your new work schedule. You're like a working addict right now, or at least that's what it
Well,
seems like.
so yeah,
You're
it
like,
feels like it.
I need
So
more work. I need more.
yeah, yeah. So with the job change, I took a pay cut also.
Yeah, yeah,
But I mean, like I was financially and mentally ready for that.
yeah.
But seeing a low paycheck, I was like, ooh, man, I haven't seen a paycheck that small in a while. So it's like,
Right.
ooh. If then there's like, hey, do you want to do secondary storm cleanup tonight? I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
They got the van, I got all the tools, they supplied everything. It's like, well, I don't really have an excuse not to, so why not?
Mm-hmm.
So I'll take it when it is. I think I was talking to my wife earlier too. I'm off Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So with the new job, I have Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, both paid holidays, both off.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have off on Friday. I took a day, and then I have Saturday, Sunday. So I have a 5 day weekend. So I have work tomorrow, and then I'm off until Monday. So we should be
That
able to
is
film
nice.
sometime this weekend because I have obviously everyone's busy on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. The day after Christmas and that weekend, I don't think I really have much besides like some stuff that like I gotta chip away at my basement. got all my walls up, got my drywall up. I started spackling. Now I got to buy
Nice.
some more floor. Got to buy some floors. But yeah, we
Nice.
should be able to film again and start going down deep
Down the
rabbit
rabbit hole.
holes.
Let's kill
Yeah,
it.
man.
Yeah. Yeah, because
Hmm.
I'm thinking about for me moving my when I'm working my podcast, I might just do the library thing for me, just so I can go nuts in a quiet space. It's kind of tough with the wife. I love her to death, but I wake her up, so I might start
Hmm.
doing that. You know what I mean? Just go to the library. It was cheap. It's free, so I might just put my phone on and go crazy. Moving
Yeah, why
forward,
not?
yeah. All right,
And
so
man,
that's all. Yeah, good.
I forget what I was gonna say actually. We'll reconvene.
Yeah, yeah, because I want to get deep into this. I want to do some research. I'm just making our thumbnail now, cleaning it up, trying to make it look better. Let me show you. Just let you know, guys, I use Canva. I hope that looks good to you. Let's find out. All right, I'm going to download it now. So this is Sean from Tech Train Solutions with the Power Effects with my buddy.
Jake Price. Jake Price does it.
And
Well, DIY conspiracy. Milwaukee versus the Walt.
that's right. I think my next one, you don't have it, but I'm going to do a router next. All right.
Yeah, I
For
don't need a
you,
router.
you could just talk smack about it. That's all. All right.
Yeah, I'll just
Just talk smack
I'll
about
compare you to Ryobi.
it. Well, why not Craftman? Why not going down lower? All right.
How about like I got something I could do.
All right. Cool.
I'll torch you. I'll light you up.
Nice. Because I did my first multi tool. I haven't used it, so it took me a while to get used
Yeah,
to it.
you just go deaf until you're done.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, what I did originally was the video you see is after I've been playing with it, so I practiced. Unlike that one video, I couldn't get the blade in. I'm like, because I didn't practice. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay, never touched that thing. Took it out of the bag and tried to put the blade on.
first
But yeah,
timer.
yeah. So again, we'll see you guys later. Peace out. Oh yeah.